Hello everyone, I thought I'd give an update on the river tank. I moved most of the stargrass. There's a little bit left in the middle of the tank, but most of it I moved to the left side of the tank. And you can't see the power head anymore, which is good. Kind of lost some of that river flow that the stargrass was doing before. There's still a little bit there, but I can't see the equipment, so that makes me happy. The curly leaf pondweed is doing a little better. It's growing. It's getting a little bit more light now that stargrass has moved. I moved some of the Vallisneria out. I've got some of this Vallisneria. It truly is a jungle. I've got some of it growing the full length of the tank, and this tank's 4 feet long. So I'm just going to pan and watch the fish, and why don't you all watch along with me. For those of you just tuning in, this tank is a U.S. native fish tank. And there's a river chub in that, under the cave there. That's his favorite hangout. I have several species of Minnow Shiners and dace. I've got several species of darters in here. They're all from the Potomac River drainage. Got satin fin shiners, which are the ones with the white and blue tails, or tips of their fins. Those are the males. The females are just plain silver, kind of a goldish silver. There's a couple species of here that are probably found in almost every creek in at least the eastern United States. Black-nosed dace and the long-nosed dace. Despite how common they are, I still love to watch them. They're part of the ecosystem. There's a long-nosed dace going through the rocks. I've got rainbow darters, which that one you just saw is a big male, or a little male. Here's the big male over here. He's a beautiful fish. He really colors up sometimes. I've got greenside darters. There's a greenside darter. There's a female fantail darter in the back, another male, and another greenside. I've got tessellated darters. Let's see if we can find a tessellated. They tend to hang more in the plants back on this end of the tank. There's one right in front. There we go. They blend in so well it's hard to see them. Got mountain red belly dace. They're the ones with the stripe that's kind of broken, and they have red on their bellies, as you might expect, and in the spring when they spawn they have yellow fins. Got some of them. Let's see, I've got a fantail darter in here. I have a few more in quarantine, but the fantails hide a lot, so when I see him come out, we'll go in and take a look at him. There is a river chub in here. He was hiding. You can kind of see him in that cave there. There he is. He just poked his head out. And there's a really big greenside darter. This greenside darter is massive for a darter. He's about 6 inches long. Might be the biggest Potomac River species of darter we have. Let's just take a quick back look at the tank overall. Also, for those of you that are new to this tank, the background is made of styrofoam. I carved it to look like a rock wall. Take a look at it. And then I painted it with dry lock, and I sealed it with, there's the fantail darter. We're getting a good look at him right here. If I can get a good focus on him, there we go. They're a beautiful fish. Anyway, the rock wall I sealed it with a Polygem clear coat epoxy to make it stronger. I didn't do it because the styrofoam and the dry lock paint, when it dries, and I use Gorilla Glue to glue everything together before carving, or as I carved. And all of that is inert when it all dries. So there's no harm to the tank. The problem is that the dry lock can chip off easily, leaving these pink little portions of the styrofoam showing. So I just use styrofoam, extruded foam, polystyrene, extruded polystyrene, pink insulation board. You can use blue or green, it doesn't really matter. But I use the clear coat to protect it from me. When I clean the tank and I use a brush or something like that, I don't have to worry about the paint coming off. So it's always going to look like rock. At least I try to make it look as much like rock as I can. Let's get a little close. I had to create crevices. There's one there, and there's one way back in there, which is really hard to see because of the plants. But I had to do it in 3 sections to get everything to fit in the tank, because the actual wall is about up to 8 inches thick in some places. And I used a lot of silicone to glue it in place, and it fits tightly anyway. It fits tightly into the frame of the tank. So as far as I know, there's no chance of it coming apart. So we're going to zoom in. The fantail darter is out. He's giving us a rare treat. We'll watch him for a minute. He's one of my favorites. They're fairly common in our area. The rainbow darter is like this one here that we're going to follow. And even the green side, like this big one, this big green side darter here. It's unclear whether they were native to the Potomac River or not. They first started showing up in the early 2000s, at least the rainbow darters. The greenside darters maybe 10 years before that. It doesn't mean that they weren't here. Possibly they've been here longer, but more than likely they were introduced from other drainages by fishermen releasing bait into their streams. The mountain red-bellied dace are not common throughout the drainage, but in the very upper reaches and tributaries of the Shenandoah River, they can be found there. So they are permanent residents of the Potomac system. They're probably in the Shenandoah River, I would imagine, and it's unclear whether or not they're native to the Potomac River or not. That's as far as I know anyway. The 2 plants on either side of the tank, the stargrass on this side of the tank is native to the Potomac, and the Vallisneria americana is native to the Potomac. But this curly leaf pondweed is not native to the United States even. As far, I think it's invasive in the entire country. But it is established in the Potomac River system, so therefore it fits the biotope. Everything from this tank came from the Potomac River drainage, tributaries of the Potomac River. And probably every species could be found up where I caught the mountain red-bellied dace. Maybe not that far upstream, but in that same creek, somewhere in the creek. And that species is found throughout the creek and probably into the Shenandoah River, like I said. So this is my Potomac River tank, and if it's your first time here, thanks for stopping by. If you're a returning visitor, thanks for visiting, and I hope you enjoyed the video.